From my experience, from my like interpretation of what happened, felt like the bike pretty much like almost like high-sided, because you can't see it from the front when I'm on the bike, but the rear of the bike was like fishtailing, and then it caught traction and then just flipped the whole bike over. What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Back with probably the last video I'm gonna make about my crash on the V4. As you guys can see, it's no longer in the garage. I actually sold it. I know a lot of you guys are probably disappointed because you wanted to see a rebuild series, but honestly, it just didn't make sense to me. The bike had a lot of work just from looking at it to be done. We didn't do a full inspection. To do that, like, you would need to pretty much gut the bike, take out all these fairings, all of that, to do like a proper inspection, which obviously costs money too. And then from there, you would know like exactly what's everything you need. But just from the little stuff we need, it was at least $10,000 to repair, and probably like weeks to get it properly put back together and all of that. That's also minus fairings. I have all the OEM fairings for the bike, so that's not even included in the price. So yeah, it was a minimum of $10,000 just to fix that bike, and you can get a new V4 for like probably $18,000–$19,000. So it just didn't make sense to kind of like spend $10,000 and risk having like all these issues, or just wait until I recover and hopefully one day just get another V4 for less. I'll probably get a base V4, not a V4S, because personally I've ridden both and I didn't see much of a difference between the two. At the end of the day, the V4R doesn't even have electronic suspension, so it makes you question if the electronic suspension is worth it. I know the wheels do make a difference because they're lighter, but I can always upgrade the wheels. So I mean, we'll see. I might get a V4, like a base V4 or a V4S. That's for the future. For the topic of this video, I'm going to be talking pretty much about like how the accident happened. I shared the footage of the accident in my last video, and obviously the video got a lot of hate. I kind of wanted to share that experience just because a lot of people from my previous video commented that they want to learn from my mistakes, and that's honestly like the main reason why I wanted to share it, and that's why I did. If you guys did watch my last video, I made like kind of bullet points in the end of the mistakes that I made and how you can kind of like, you know, learn from it. And that's the main reason of sharing the footage of that accident. And also it's like a tribute to the V4 because I am going to miss that bike. So yeah, the accident actually happened. A lot of people are saying front brakes, front brakes, front brakes. I have been, so when the accident actually happened, I wasn't even like stressed out or panicking or anything. I usually ride pretty aggressively, and I've been in like worse situations where I had to like brake really hard because there's an unexpected turn, or I'm in a canyon, a turn comes up that's sharper than expected, or, you know, like many situations it happens with bikes, or like had to kind of like brake hard to maneuver around a car that cut me off. So I've been in a lot of these situations where I actually had to like brake really, really hard and to avoid an accident. And usually when you brake that hard, the bike fishtails, and that's completely normal. I know like how to control that, and it's very usual for me. So just to mention, it's not the front brakes. I didn't apply too much front brakes. I've been riding for over 4 years. I don't even know how many thousand miles, like tens of thousands of miles, because I ride pretty regularly. I've had liter bikes for years too now, so like it's not like I'm new to liter bikes and I don't respect them. I literally talked about how you should respect a bike even though you have experience on faster bikes when you first get it. What happened in that scenario is that rear brake, I broke really, really hard. Bike fishtailed. The tires were fairly new. The bike settings weren't set that well. I changed it into sport, which I mentioned in one of my videos, instead of race mode, and I messed with the settings myself. The traction control, what I believe was too high. The ABS was on. That's why like the bike couldn't have technically front flipped. ABS was on. A lot of people were like, wow, how does a bike that expensive not have ABS? Or did I turn it off? It's stupid to turn it off. Like, it doesn't make you slower or anything. That day, because I was riding at night, the traction control is a little higher up, which I personally don't like. I like having control of my bike. So like when it slides or anything, like I'd rather me control that over the bike, kind of like get in the way of that. And I believe that's what happened. So I broke really hard. The bike was fishtailing. I was completely calm. Happened to me before. Not stressed at all. I didn't even think I was gonna crash. Like, I've been, as I said, I've been in worse, and I thought like, 4 situations and I made it out like easily, you know, like not even actually close calls. Obviously I couldn't see that well because it was a tinted visor, it was dark at night. The turn did come up like a little unexpectedly. It was unfamiliar. I don't take that exit often or anything like that. I wasn't like stressed out, you know what I mean? Like I just broke like I always do, gradually on the front brakes and gradually on the rear, but harder on the rear because when the bike fishtails, like I can control that. Not too much that it slides completely out, but you know, just enough. But what happened is all of a sudden the bike, I guess because my traction control was like on a high setting, the bike actually caught traction after fishtailing, and when it caught traction really aggressively, and it kind of just like launched me forward. That's what happened. Because like, again, a lot of people are confused because like you can't apply too much front brake and flip a bike if you have ABS. Like, you know, the bike has a lot of technology to avoid you from doing that. So I'm assuming just the wrong pretty much setup that I had on the bike, with the fact that the tire was fairly new. So like you've seen high sides in MotoGP and all of that, when someone is leaning and they break traction and the bike gets traction again and it kind of like whips you. That's pretty much what I felt happened to me. Again, everything was kind of like happened so fast, and while I was crashing I was like, oh man, I can't believe this is happening to me. Because like in my head, like I didn't think that was going to be an accident or anything. I was like completely calm. I didn't think anything wrong was gonna happen. It just kind of like happened, and as I'm tumbling, I literally all I can think of is like, what the hell happened? I can't believe this happened. This is also another lesson that like, I agree with the people that were saying do not ride aggressively at night, especially with limited visible. Like it's just a bad combination. It's dark, unfamiliar roads, tinted visor, and I don't even think going fast was like the issue. Obviously, if I was going slower and didn't have to brake as much, that could have been avoided. But like, again, I've been in similar situations and even worse, and it wasn't even like a problem. That's my kind of assumption of what happened. These bikes have so much electronics and they're so like technologically advanced that it should have not done that, you know, if that makes sense. It was like a very, in my opinion, stupid accident that like shouldn't have happened. Like, and still now I'm like kind of like in shock, but like from my experience, from my like interpretation of what happened, that's what it felt like. It felt like the bike pretty much like almost like high-sided, because you can't see it from the front when I'm on the bike, but the rear of the bike was like fishtailing, and then it caught traction and then just flipped the whole bike over. That's pretty much what happened. So I wanted to kind of explain that because none of my videos I explained exactly what I think happened, and now you guys know. Oh, I really wanted to talk about something else. So I actually have a full suit. There's so many people that are like, oh, you can buy all these bikes but you can't afford leathers. I have Dainese jacket and pants, so they zip up together to become a suit. They're like allowed in tracks. I was wearing boots, I was wearing gauntlets, I was wearing a helmet when I crashed, but I was not wearing my leathers. Let a man be, you guys. It's my life, it's my consequences. I'm the one in pain, not you guys. It's just too much. You guys don't live in California, you guys don't know how hot it gets, and it's just not fun to ride in leathers, especially because most of the time we ride and hang out and do all that stuff. I have leathers, I just choose not to wear them. It's my choice, my life, and I live with the consequences, as you guys see, and I'm okay with that. So if you want to wear leathers, go ahead, man. Great for you. For me personally, yes, I'm definitely going to be wearing it a little bit more. I'm definitely not going to be wearing leathers all the time, full time, because at the end of the day, I broke my thumb. That's the most like thing that's messed up, is my shattered thumb. And I was wearing full-on Dainese gauntlets that are like $250, $300. So really good gloves, obviously like helped a lot, but still this is the most messed up part, not even my body. Road rash does suck, but again, it's my choice, my consequences. Other than that, I think we're done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the love, support, and the people that actually are nice and care. For the other people, hey man, I really don't care. I know my skill, I know like my riding abilities, and you guys really won't affect me because I've seen a lot of accidents. I've been through a lot of accidents, or like not personally, but like with other people that have been through accidents. I know people that have died, so I'm aware of pretty much most things. So ride as safe as you possibly could, and have fun. That's what life is about, right? Peace out, guys.